Hi guys, this is our box for our plans for drawing our sheet metal box. So we need to first of all get an A4 page like this. Any A4 page will do. It will not be the full length. It's going to end up being 26 millimeters or 26 centimeters, or what we normally talk about is 260 by 210. So we often start in centimetres, but these days when we're doing these drawings, we're doing them in millimetres. So you're going to have your page like that. Your page will actually be like this piece. I'm going to place this on top so I can actually put some more information around the edge, but you will just have a page this size. So I'll keep moving between the two. First of all, we're going to draw the side lines in. So when we draw the side lines in, we're going to draw them coming in from the sides. So we're going to come in, and we are not going to even be using this whole section of our page, but we're going to just start working from the corner because this is the size we need. So first of all, we're going to do our first marks coming this way. We're going to do a mark that is at 5, 16, and we're going to do one at 1 and one at 20 at the same time because it's 21 centimetres wide. We're going to do this 3 times. So we're going to come back, we're going to do a dot at 1. You are going to do this in pencil. Okay, I'm using colour just so you can see it a bit more easily because I know it's difficult to see. So we want a 1 at 1, 1 at 5, 1 at 16, 1 at 20. So that's a mark at 1 or 10. We want to mark at 50. We want to mark at 160. We want to mark at 200. Okay, so we're doing a dot at each of those points. Now, they will be millimetres. This ruler here hasn't got 200 millimetres. This one actually does it in centimetres. That's why I wanted to start with it, because you may not find that yours actually says 10, 20, 30, like this engineering one. So that's okay, you can still use it. What we're first of all going to do is our marking out for the edge of our box. Okay, this is going to be a fold line, but part of it's going to be a cutting line. So when we do our first bit, this line here is going to be cut up the side. So we're going to then, we've got that line, so I'm going to draw, this is going to be cut right to the edge of our page, and then from this point on, we're going to be ending up with a cutting line, so folding line. So to make sure we know we're folding, sometimes I find it's really good to actually put some dots, and then your line will go right across here because we've come out that far. How we know this distance is because this is going to be a box, so this is going to come across here to this point that we're doing here is going to be 50. That point's going to be, so that's 50 from here to here, the same as it's 50 from here to here, but it was 10 to the first mark here. We're going to do the same thing out this way. There'll be another mark that goes through, but we don't want to worry about these ones at the moment. This one is going to be at 21. So this mark here, from that end, we're doing is 210. So we're going all the way across to that next mark. That's how I know when I do my dots and my cutting lines here where they're going to start and finish, because our whole project is within that range. So we've got 2 solid lines. They're going to be cutting lines. Do a little mark so we know where they're going to start and finish as being fold and cutting lines, and then we're using some dots to mark in. And so we've marked in our first side lines for our long length. Now we're going to mark in the next ones for the next angle. So we are coming in, we said right from the start that we're coming in 50, so we're going to mark in 50, and we always mark at least 3 times when we do a line before we actually draw it, so that if we do one incorrect, we're only getting one incorrect, not the whole lot. So this is a little bit awkward having this page sitting there, but I'm trying to be able to give you extra information and not mark on your drawing. So this one's going to be a fold line all the way through. So we've got this mark, it is going to be a fold line, so I'm doing it as a dashed line all the way from the top to the bottom. Because we've come in 50, again we're coming in 50, and we're going to do, we're going out that way 50 to that section. We still have that extra we don't need on the other end because the whole total mark is 260. So that's where our whole box is finishing. So this time we're going to do the same thing. We're going to mark it as a fold line all the way across, because we've already marked where the 210 started and finished before, so we know where we're going. But this distance here, this spacing here, is actually 16. So this little bit here, I'm actually going to draw it on here, so you know that this is 160 millimeters. Remember, we're talking millimeters, and that's how far apart that one is. And this is the base, so this is going to be the base of our little box we're making. And when we go this way, because we've got 4 centimeter walls, this one is going to be 111. So that's 111 in that direction. Okay, so you can see now how we're adding on the different dimensions. We're having 4 millimeter walls, but we're having a 10 millimeter fold back, which you'll understand better soon. So now I've got this section. I know that this is going to be the edge of my metal. Okay, so I'm drawing my plan in A4, and I'm going to mark this one off. So this is the edge of my page, so I know that is going to be the edge of my box. So that's going to be another cutting line. The next things I need to do is come in and add some more marks onto my page. So I actually may as well just cut my whole page completely off at this height, because that is the length of my box. So we're back to the next little section. So we've got our box. We can just see that black line around it sitting there, around it to help make it clear. We now have to do fold lines. So we've got some cutting lines and we have to do some tabs. We'll mark the fold lines in first. I'm going to mark them in orange. And the fold lines come in for this section here on both of them for 10 millimeters. So you have a fold line here for 10 millimeters. You also have a fold line this way for 10. And that bit there comes down for your fold for 10 there. So it comes in each direction there. So each of the folds are 10. So I've marked them out carefully, and I'm going to just do them completely as dots, because these are fold back lines. So unlike the other fold lines that will be 90 degrees, these are the ones we do so we won't cut ourselves on the sheet metal. The sheet metal is sharp because it's 0.6 millimeters galvanized sheet metal, and it therefore has quite a sharp edge, and it's not easy just to file and smooth it. So the safest thing to do when you make things out of sheet metal, where possible, if it's thin, is to fold it back, and that creates a nice smooth edge. So if you have to put your hand in and out of your little box, you shouldn't cut yourself. So I've got my complete fold back lines. I've got now to add the tabs, so when I actually have to bring the box in, and the tabs are also going to be 10 millimeters in between those spaces. So the tabs are going to be on 2 sides, and these will also be cutting lines. So to help work out our angles for our tabs, if we use a square, we can come across from the corner up to our millimeter that I've marked in already. And I can do this and make sure I've got plenty of room to do those angles. And then I'm coming from down this side, I'm actually drawing the tab in from the fold line, not from the edge of the metal. Otherwise it will be too thick to work with and I won't be able to do what I need to do. So I'm doing my angles for my tabs first. And then I'm going to draw my lines. So I'm going to come back. Got 2 straight sides there. These are my 10 millimeters I marked out before. So I knew I'd have 10 millimeter folds and 10 millimeter. So this is my box plan in sheet metal. Okay, so I've got all those pieces there. Okay, so now we're up to cutting out. So we've cut out our box we're making. We're now going to do, every time we've got these dots on the side, these are our fold-in box side edges. I might even trim these a little bit on the corner, just get the rough corner off just a little bit before I fold it in, just so there's no really sharp edges on that corner, because they tend to cut. So if you just round them off, just trim them off a little bit. They don't need to go very far. The first thing I do is fold these fold back sides. So again, we fold them back, the dots. We're folding back 180 degrees, so they're going to be completely folded back over themselves. Then we're going to fold these in, these ones, and they can fold over themselves, and then we can open them up to 90. So we've now got a box, but we now need to also fold our little tab lines in. So when we use the handbrake press, we will actually fold all of those lines together, and all of these ones together, and then adjust the handbrake folder for doing the last fold. So it's got special ways of adjusting it to suit your box. They will come up, the tabs will come around, so you're ending up with a box. The tabs over here come and sit on the side to hold the box together. So then you'll end up with a box. If that works out in paper, then you know your design's going to work out when you've got it done. Once you've folded your box up, you can put a little bit of tape on it to check each of the sides are matching, and it should sit together with the corners matching through and all of the pieces coming together how it needs to be.